In an ancient time, when a terrible evil threatens the land, only one man can save the world.
Say what? Get out of here.
What? What's the meaning of this?
Oh, we'll just take off that broken record.
I say.
Here, hold my earrings while I take this monster down. I've got your back, darling. We just might burn down this town. Oh no, oh yeah. When you're up against a challenge and you need a helping hand, we've got an arsenal of fireballs, steel stilettos, and a cat. Oh yeah.
Hello, and welcome to Here Hold My Earrings. My name is Al, and I'm your DM for the day. Today we have Henrietta, Yvonne, Laura, and Rebecca. Henrietta?
Hi, I'm Henriette. I'm from Norway, and I play a Kalashtar druid named Dalin.
Yvonne?
Hi, I'm Yvonne from Canada, and I play Cracker, a half-orc barbarian.
Laura?
I'm Laura from Germany, and I'm playing Byleth, a Dragonborn wizard.
And Rebecca.
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm also from Germany and I play Orla, a human cleric.
Awesome. And Rebecca has very kindly offered to do the recap.
Okay. So last session starts with us questioning the male drow from House Mizran, who calls himself Maleborn. He tells us that he was part of the invasion of Blindenstone and he was trapped in the pocket dimension for over 100 years. And actually, House Duskum was chosen to lead the invasion, but kind of House Mizram, they withheld their reinforcements so that House Duskum would expel all their powers and House Mizram would then swoop in to save the day. Well, that had been the plan. Obviously, it was interrupted by the machine. Before this Drow cleric had that we didn't manage to kill had just disappeared into the earth, and so Dylan uses mold earth to force her out. She also her name is Ivara. She promptly resurrects a couple of her drow warriors and fights us. And during that fight, Byleth traps the enemies inside a web, and Dylan summons a Rothi and herself turns into a saber-toothed tiger. And also Ola convinces the male drow to stay out of the fight if he knows what's good for him. We managed to kill all the fighters, but Ivara escapes up the mining canyon. But then suddenly the spirit appears and she is very surprised and just falls to her death, which means we cannot loot her. So then the spirit floats down and identifies itself as the sub commander of House Duskum and tells us that he or his house they realized the treachery among the drow ranks and he's very angry at the other drow and now he wants to seek vengeance on them on the other drow houses but also on Lilith because he now rejects her. And then Dylan um, kind of convinces him to join Kiransali. And he likes that idea so much that he summons all the other spirits of House Duskum, and they all disappear, probably to serve Kiransali now. Um, and then we have a kind of a discussion about what to do with this male drow, maleborn, because we don't just want to let him go because I mean he would probably be killed like very very soon, but also he can't return to his house because then he'll also be killed, and we're also worried about taking him to Blingdenstone because they will also kill him. So I think we just decided to take him with us, maybe disguise him, or at least pretend that he's not one of those people who attacked Blindenstone. And when we get to the like exit of the new model city, we see this ghost that was stuck in the loop again, and Dylan mind links with him and tells him that we turned on the anti-teleportation machine, and he disappears. Um, then suddenly a bunch of Swerve Neblins come running, and we also tell them that we turned on the machine, and suddenly the circle opens and a 6 foot tall human in robes tumbles out. He identifies himself as one of the simulacrons of Silvery Moon, and he is an advisor in all matters teleportation, and he was also stuck in a pocket dimension that kind of now just popped open because we turned the machine back on. And also his master went missing, and now he wants to take one of us to Silvery Moon, and Mira decides to go with him, and so we say goodbye to her and tell her to be good, and this is where we left off.
Terrific. Well done. Yes. I seem to have done something. Yeah, that's an excellent recap. Does anybody want to add anything?
Um, did you say that the simulacrum was Aegeus Scorch?
Agamemnon Scorch.
Agamemnon Scorch, yes.
No, and I have
Sh
no idea what that is.
Yeah,
yes.
that was the guy. So yeah.
Well done. Yes. He is Agamemnon's. He is a simulacrum of Agamemnon Scorch. He's actually in a simulacrum of a simulacrum of a simulacrum.
Mm.
Uh, which legally is you can do that if you have the right spells. You can actually make simulacrum of yourself. There he is, handsome fella. Who is Agamemnon Scorch? Aegeus Scorch is a different member of the Scorch family.
Mm.
Wasn't he a professor or something in Silver Moon? Or
Yes.
something like that? I know that Satina knew him and Cora knew him. I never met him,
Yes.
so
He's a famous retired adventurer turned into a scholar and researcher, and he primarily likes to spend his time understanding the magical weave and exploring aspects of magic, including magical travel to other locations. And he's been missing for some time. Did you ever hear why he was missing?
I don't think so. I only know that Cora mentioned it when we were talking about him, and she just suddenly said, "Oh, he's missing. We don't know where he is."
Hmm.
Yes, he's missing.
And he's also not in this dimension. I don't know if you mentioned it,
Yes,
Rebecca.
he's not on this plane. That's why the
Mm.
simulacrum could not find him. Agamemnon is so powerful that at one point he was abducted and taken by Lolth and is rumored to be being used as a magical battery to power some infernal device that Lolth is using. And he was partly there, if you recall, at the Lolth Temple, or one of the simulacrum was.
Yeah, under the portal.
Simulacra. Yes. Whenever there's a magical portal, it seems like he shows up.
Yeah.
That guy gets around. Very good. Yeah. Well, you would have known this because Cora would have talked about this all the time. So would Satina over the campfires as you guys took your various long rests.
Yeah.
And yes, he is a human from the city of Silvery Moon. He has some elven lineage in his family, so a couple of his cousins, including some of the other folks that have played in the past, are related to him through their blood, although they're partly elves or half elves. So he's got a bunch of elven cousins, half elven cousins, and a whole bunch of humans, and they all come from a magical family, kind of mid-level magicians and wizards, mostly combat magicians. He chose to become an illusionist because he didn't want to go into the quote unquote family business. Started off with card tricks, and his parents were terribly disappointed. You can imagine. It's like somebody wanting you to be a doctor, and you say, "Nah, I think I want to learn how to juggle." Um, yes, and Maliborn, as he likes to be called, since it sounds a bit more chic than just Maleborn. That's what he was. Uh, is basically now your prisoner stroke on site masseuse or masseur. How was that back rub he gave Byleth?
It was very good. It felt like I was reborn, honestly. Like I recovered some hit points and yeah. Would recommend. 5 stars. Mm.
Awesome. Nice. And Dalin was blessed, or as it were, by Kiransali
Yeah.
for having helped bring some new recruits, and the recruits now have been given purpose to go fight the Drow. Delin no longer feels that itchiness under her skin that had been associated with whatever
Mm.
disease or bacteria she had picked up when she was dealing with Chipgrin and the Bartholomew Whiskers people. Cracker has not actually had that benefit. So she's still got these weird patches of fur growing out of her neck and on her forearms look really furry all of a sudden. And she's even got like really, really long hairs sprouting out of her shins that peek out wherever she doesn't have any armor, which is most of the places, I think.
Yeah.
So either Cracker's going to have to invest in some new razors or find some other solution to this. Did anybody else get bitten?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah. So Cracker can choose to stay the way she is, or she can accept it. If she tries to fight it, well, she gets control of herself. If she accepts it, slowly she will turn to madness as she is constantly being reminded that there are things that mice and rats like that she seems to find incredibly interesting now. Peanut butter,
Mazes.
nuts,
She
mazes,
Mm.
bees, things
is she
that
now also
squeak that nobody else can hear.
is she now also like terrified of Dylan in her like cat form?
Maybe
Maybe.
Delin is very interested in Cracker and
Yeah.
her smelly forearms. And Cracker's like getting some facial hair. She's like starting to grow like a little bit of lady beard, you know? Well, how would Cracker deal with that? Would she like shave it off? Just let it grow? Would she dye
Didn't
it
even
and
notice.
try to
I mean,
hide it?
although for me it's the guns, man. Like you can't see the definition as much anymore, and that's bothering me a lot.
Right. Right. But like the extra fur is kind of making her look bigger,
True,
right?
true. Yeah,
She's puffing out a bit. So swole, as the kids say.
bulking up.
Yeah, cool. And so Orla is feeling pretty good about all of this. She, you guys helped rededicate a temple. It technically wasn't to her goddess Shanti, but at least she did
I
something for religious fervor.
mean, I believe in religious freedom, so I would not feel good rededicating a temple to my goddess if there wasn't anyone around to worship her anyway, and if it was originally someone else's temple, right?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, there is such a thing as just sort of supporting your own industry, even if you're not the beneficiary of it. And a lot of people would say religion is an industry. Well done. Well, you have managed to either bring some peace to some of the ghosts who had been stuck here, whether they were driven out of vengeance or fear or just a general sense of an incomplete mission. The engineer, whom you never actually got his name, uh, has ceased his constant repeated falling off a cliff meme. And you've got your friend Maliborn, who still hasn't revealed his true face to you yet. The soldiers of Blingdenstone, who have warned you that the rest of the city is going through a bit of an upheaval now that the phase rest engine has been fully activated and the partial stuttering of the machinery has unleashed a number of trapped souls who were in mid teleportation at the time of the original invasion, have offered to bring you safely and escort you back to Queen Seni Digramatic, who is, as usual, holding court at the Inn of the Purple Worm. But if you would like to do anything before you go, they're happy to stand guard and make sure that everything is okay. And they'll sniff around a bit and check out the area a little bit without going too far out of your sight. They also offer to restrain Maliborn and or take him into custody.
Do we want to push some more
I'm-
buttons?
I
And
mean,
a lot of them we haven't tried yet.
no.
True.
I mean, I feel like if we like pushed the buttons ourselves without letting Mira do it, she would be very upset with us when she comes back. So
True. Well,
that
it
is one
was
reason not to do that.
yeah. Let's just
Oh, that's nice.
go back to Blinding Stone, and
True.
I think we're gonna keep Maleborn close to us, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
We
Should
can
we just
handle him.
tell them that he's a traitor to the Drow and he helped us?
Well, he's our prisoner. It's nothing to do with them. So
Okay. Yeah. Also an option.
let's not say anything right now, and if they ask, we can kind of do a huddle to find out what we are going to say then.
So no plan, just improvisation. I love it.
That's what we do best,
Good.
isn't it?
Okay. Yeah, so the head of the little Sverfneblin contingent says, "Right, back to the main city." And he turns on his heel, points a very short spear that he's got in his hand in the general direction of the tunnel that you all have come down. So you're not entirely sure why he's doing that, since you obviously all know how to get back. And he starts marching off, although several of them linger behind to stand behind you as you walk, at least two of them eyeing your drow Maliborn with deep suspicion and constantly trying to poke him in the back with their short little spears. Although they're so short and you guys are so big that unless you let them, they won't necessarily get through you to poke them in the butt.
We'll keep
Stomp,
him
stomp,
safe.
stomp, stomp, stomp,
Yep.
stomp. Okay, right. Yeah, he's already been the subject of a lot of abuse for 100 years by a rather vicious leader.
Mhm.
All right. You arrive at the Purple Worm Tavern, find it all pretty much as you left it, including Poops and Pool, Shrieker, and Sponge.
Hey.
Remember these guys?
Yeah. Vaguely.
Shrieker senses your presence and starts screeching. You're not sure if it's because he's scared or he's just glad to see you.
Aw.
Sponge looks at you and his little cap of the head sort of perks up a little bit, and he waves. And Poops and Pool just looks at you, his knees start to quiver, and yes, he makes a little mess behind himself. Fierce notices you. Wow, you're alive. I almost don't believe it. Who you got back there?
Just someone of
Masseur.
interest. Yeah. You miss her. Jeez.
Oh,
He's a person of
well,
interest to us.
he's a person of interest to us as well. Looks like he might be one of the drow. And you got him in the new model city, did you? He wouldn't by any chance be one of the original invaders.
We don't know.
You sure? Looks a bit like one of them Yankee carpetbaggers, if you ask me.
Well, we found him. He's ours.
Pierce scratches his nose briefly with his finger and squints one eye at you Well, as we say down here in the Underdark, finders keepers. I suppose you can bring it up with the queen. She's waiting to have a chat with y'all. And he nods his head over towards Queen Senny and sticks his thumb up, pointing in her general direction, indicating that perhaps you should go have a little tete-a-tete with her. I'll be here when you're done. Good to see you all back alive.
Thanks.
The queen sees you come in and waves you over. Oh, do come over. Do come over. We have much to catch up on. Bozza? Yes, my queen. Would you get us all some of your fine beer? Right away, my queen. And he trundles off into the kitchens.
I walk over.
All
Did
right.
did Melbourne get undressed while we were walking back to the town?
Well, you weren't sure what to do with him, so he decided to strip his armor to make himself look a little bit less dangerous.
Okay.
I think Moxie might have had something to do with that. As you guys were walking back, she was kind of like, "Look, it's just to make you look a little less intimidating and threatening. Let me just help you get all that dirty, bloody armor off." Oh,
Does he also
oh.
have on a coconut bra? Or
I thought he did.
so good. I think so too.
Well, if
Grass
someone can
skirt.
draw a picture of this beautiful drow male with a coconut bra, I will happily place the existing. Moxie insists that she's just checking him for weapons and hidden armaments. At this stage, I don't think there's anything that he's hiding anywhere on him, ever. The queen looks at all of you, looks at the drow, raises one eyebrow, goes, "Hmm. I see you had some adventures. So, was it a success? Are we safe?"
You are.
Right. Well, that's all I need to know then. No, obviously I need some detail. Come on.
Okay. What do you want to know? Everything that happened?
Well, I don't need all the details, but well, let's put it this way. Is it safe? Are there any undead left?
Not that we could see. A lot of the ghosts disappeared, and some died.
Oh.
Again. Yeah.
Oh. Did anyone leave anything behind?
Ghosts?
No?
They didn't carry anything. And we,
Oh.
the temple down there was desecrated, so we kind of blessed it again. So that's okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So, all in a day's work. I pushed some buttons. That was fun.
Is that a euphemism?
No, we literally pushed some buttons.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And we got trapped. And we pushed some other buttons and we freed ourselves.
Really?
Yay.
And you
Yeah.
survived, all
Yeah.
of you.
Yeah.
That's quite
Mhm.
surprising, really.
Well, I died once, but well, almost died, but I'm fine now.
She's kind of looking at you, just blinking. When you say the temple was desecrated, what did you do about it?
We did a ritual.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm.
what kind of ritual? Oh, wait, just 1 second. Oh, Gernick, could I borrow you for a moment? And this fellow from the back trundles over. He's an unusual looking fellow, even amongst the group that you're in. Yes, my queen. Gernick, I'd like you to meet the adventurers from the surface who've been helping us. They say that they've conducted some sort of ritual in the new model city temple. Go on. This is Gurnik Tapfinger. He's the head priest of Haladaran Smooth Hands here in Blingdensdale. I'm sure he'd be interested to hear what you've done.
Well, we looked at the walls inside the temple, and it told us to perform. Well, and a ghost told us to perform a ritual because of desecrated temple, and so we did a cleansing ritual, and we all got blessed. And Ola, didn't you bring something for the temple here?
Yes. So you are the head priest?
Apparently, yes.
So the ghost told us to take some of these smoothed faceless gems. They kind of look like eggs, and bring them to your temple here. And I pull them out of my backpack and show them off.
And as you do that, everybody in the room, you hear a sudden hushed intake of breath. And clearly, the queen and Gurnik, their eyes just kind of grow really, really large. Oh, yes. Were these from the actual statues, the guardians of Smooth Hands?
They were from the statues, yes.
And he takes them from you. Oh, we thought these were missing. My queen, I think we can reinvest the new temple with these stones of power. Oh, well, that does sound quite good. You have my permission to proceed. Thank you for these. He snaps a finger while he cradles both of the eggs in one forearm. And a small little creature comes running by. It's a lizard. And it's carrying a little pouch around its neck onto its back. He reaches down, pulls out several scrolls, and rummages around. Yeah, as a token of our appreciation, please take these and use these in good health. And he hands you 3 scrolls.
Ooh, thank you.
Thank you.
Can I read them? Do I understand the language?
So as you open the scrolls and inspect them, you realize they're magical. And because of the way they've been written, they are clerical spells, which you can certainly use regardless of what language they were written in. Delin may also be able to use some of them. They are, but maybe not all. They are a scroll of raised dead,
Mhm.
shaped stone, and what was the last? Wait, where's my notes? Sorry. A little immersion breaking there. Hallow. That's it. There we go. In the chat. You can look these spells up at any time you want.
Hmm.
They should be quite useful. Now, as with all these spells, the ingredients have been utilized, so you won't need anything further from any of them, including the raised dead spell. And he leans in and whispers, I hope you won't need that one anytime soon. Although if you're traveling with this one here, and he points at Maliborn, well, let's just say I'd be very careful who you sleep next to. He then takes the eggs and he places them reverently on top of a chair next to the queen. And he says, would you just excuse me a moment while I perform a quick ritual? And he looks left and right, tucks his arms and his hands underneath his armpits, starts sort of waving his arms together in unison. bends down really low, sticks his butt out in the back, sticks his head forward, and starts strutting around the chair in a circle 3 times, going, and then he sits down on the 2 round gems.
Okay.
Can I Dylan, you can use Shapestone, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give you that scroll then.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm keeping the other 2. Not because I'm greedy, but because I think I'm the only one who can use them.
Hey, Orla, do you have anything in there for this? You're getting really itchy, man.
You mean your, and I kind of like lean towards you, your lycanthropy problem?
Yeah, that.
Um,
You know,
Everybody suddenly looks at you and goes,
I whispered, right?
roll deception.
Oh, before was okay. Okay, I'll roll deception. I can do that.
Or stealth. I think your stealth is
Um,
probably worse.
I mean, my stealth technically has disadvantage because of my armor, although that makes no sense for whispering. Um,
Well, maybe. I don't know. I mean, you're trying to lean in close. You're trying to be quiet. It's squeaking. Everybody suddenly notices you're squeaking. Then they
okay,
notice you're leaning in, trying to whisper.
I'm rolling deception. Okay, that's a 9.
Yeah, I think some people kind of heard it.
What did you
Hmm?
say?
Did she say lycanthropy? I don't know. I don't speak common. It's like, but I think I heard the word. Like, I thought it was just a rash. She just looks very furry to me. I don't know. Isn't that normal for their species? Maybe it's like one of the time of the year type. They kind of molt and then they grow fur. But how would you know? Isn't it springtime on the surface? I don't know. How these things work. But everybody kind of backs away from you.
Um, s- so
unused
I th-
to.
Yeah.
so do you want to get rid of this?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay, so
I like the bulk, but the definition's lost, and that's really the point.
so the thing is, I don't think I can do anything for you. Because I mean, it's a disease, so I can see it. I don't think I can get rid of it. But I think since they were like like the other day when we talked about like all these were rats, they said that any who are like not like who were just turned and weren't born that way, they would try to turn them back. And I think these people, they hate these were rats. So I mean, unless they were lying to us, they might help you get rid of this for free
That sounds
because
good.
they're so scared.
Do you want to ask for me? I'm not really good with the words. I'm probably going to say something stupid.
Okay.
Is this
How
effect
trust?
magical? Or is it a curse? Or is it a disease? Or
I got it when they bit me, so I'm guessing it's like rabies.
Yeah, and I could see it when I like
Or
tried
at
to
least
like
herpes.
look
yeah.
for disease. So it's not like the thing that I had, which was magical.
Okay. Well, I have a spell, but I don't think that will help because I don't think it's powerful enough. Well, it
We could
says
talk to this.
disease or condition, so might work. I also have that a spell that can take away a magical effect.
Yeah, I don't think it's magical because I could see it as like a disease and not like when I do like detect magic.
I know it's itchy.
Also, like, what happened to you? You were like looking bad as well.
Oh, I feel good now.
How? Like, maybe if you tell us what you did.
Well, I don't know exactly, but I think it has something to do that I kind of gave Kiransali like 40 followers.
To kill more people. All right. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Cracker recruits some people now, maybe she'll. So I mean,
Maybe she wants me to kind of worship her, and maybe she thinks that I'm kind of leaning in her direction now because I got the ghost to go to her. Oh, maybe I'm a
Are you?
maybe I'm a cleric now of Kransley. Ooh, that's
Um,
Leaving the party for Kuransuli.
yeah.
I mean, what can you do as a cleric? Can you like do light like this, and I cast light on? Um,
No, but I can do this, and I
let's
produce
just say on
flame.
the table, or, no, or maybe not table, like maybe a glass. Couldn't you do that before?
I don't have any new powers. I'm just. I don't think, at least. I don't. I just
Not
think
itchy.
that she was thankful for getting her some new followers, and she cured me. But I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just
Mm.
that awesome.
So I mean, either maybe
Did I just
maybe you
Definitely.
can cure Cracker or the
maybe?
priest. I mean, they also. Okay, no, I was gonna say they owe us something, but they already just gave us scrolls. So, um,
To him a
but
bit.
if
Maybe
we
Gurnik
ask
would.
for a favor,
Well, if we wait until tomorrow, I can prepare both cure spells, and we can try both. And if they don't work, we can go to the temple and ask them for help. But
Okay,
I
sounds
okay.
good.
have a feeling that we have to pay them if we ask them for help.
Bloody people.
Yep.
Couldn't we just say, oh, if you don't help us, then we'll let this dangerous rare rat loose?
Mhm.
I think they might try to kill her then, so I don't think that's
Uh,
the best best option.
yeah, I hate like when I got like, remember when I was like really hurt and they like only helped me for, I mean, they said first for gold, and then we didn't have that gold. But then then they did it for sending us to our death. So maybe they'll do it if they have another like, another like thing that we need to do for them, which I think they have
Enough.
anyway. So
We already did enough for these people.
Yeah, I think so too. But we can try
also, like,
my spells tomorrow, and if they don't work, we go and we can kind of blackmail them.
Okay.
mm,
Sounds good.
also, I want to talk to Pierce.
Go ahead.
Well, actually, first, so you have that like Quacker, you are keeping that like really shine like really thin silvery like rope, right? You have that.
Oh yeah, I think I've got one of those. One of those nice silk ropes.
Can I borrow it for a second?
Sure.
I'll take it and I'll move to Pierce and I show it to him and I ask him, "Hey, could you please tell me what this is?"
Pierce looks at it, goes, Why, that looks a bit like that fancy rope I was using before. And he starts trying to, he looks at the rope intently and then he starts whispering individual words that you don't recognize in Gnomish. And eventually something happens. And suddenly the rope just comes to life and jumps all over Pierce and just binds him up like he's a trussed turkey. Oh, oh, get this thing off me. And he shouts the same word over and over again, and finally it releases him. Well, that is not what I had before, I must say, although I can see some practical applications for it. That, I think, is what they call a rope of entanglement. It's good for restricting people and things. I thought it was a rope of climbing, but you could definitely use that if you've got
Also,
prisoners
does it
or
work on like, I mean, I can see some uses for this. But does it work on like any type of creature or like just some that are like really weak or like any size?
ooh, I don't know. I'm not an expert on rope of entanglement. I've just used the rope of climbing. I guess you could always try it out. Looks like that fellow over there could be tied up. Looks like your bard wants to help.
I mean, I think maybe we don't need it because he's actually like just following our commands without being tied up. So why waste the rope, right?
Hmm.
Well, I think you could just use it over and over again. It's not a one shot kind of a thing.
Yeah.
What is the word you have to activate it with?
Phew.
Interesting.
And how do you phew?
Phew.
And
And it just keeps tying him up every time he says it. I hope
okay,
you can write this down quickly because this is
Sorry.
getting a bit tiresome. This isn't really my scene, you know.
and how do you get it to untie yourself?
You just say the same word over again. Hachoo! And this time it jumps on Orla and just ties her up.
I will try out saying "Hachoo," see if it like gets off me.
It jumps onto Poops and Pool. And Poops and Pool just keeps pooping over and over again.
Ugh, no, you're getting the rope like all dirty.
Hmm.
But like, do you get it to like just not tie up anyone and just like go back to its normal form?
I think it's got something to do with how you say it.
Like intent?
Oh, maybe just your inflection. In Gnomish, the word hachu can mean many things. It can mean attack. It can mean hook. It can also mean warm. There's even a kind of a mushroom called the hachu mushroom. And then the rope jumps onto Sponge, and Sponge telepathically screams,
Can you teach us the different inflections?
"Oh, it would take me quite a long time to teach you how to speak Gnomish. But yes, I suppose I could. It'll take a few days to get it right.
Does it also work with common?
I don't know. I didn't try Common. I only used Gnomish.
Yeah, but like, what did you like when you say a chew and you want things to be tied up? What, like that inflection, what would be the common equivalent?
Well, the first one I used was something else completely for the rope of climbing. The one I ended up using was attack. And as soon as he
O-
says this, the rope untangles from Sponge and lays down in a coil, inert. Oh, I guess attack works. And then it suddenly jumps on Sponge again. Sponge shrieks out again, "Will you stop this? This is really not fun."
I'll try to get the rope off.
Pulling on it?
Ah, can I at least just touch it and see if it does like move? Or if it's like resistant to me trying to untie him? I'm not tugging on it.
It's definitely very tight. It doesn't feel like you could do this without trying very, very hard.
Attack?
And it lays down.
Okay. I scoop it up and I walk over to the others. Um, I was gonna just find out what kind of price would be fair for this from peers, but it seems like it's gonna be more useful to us, like than the gold. So who wants it? Like who thinks in like a fight they can just throw this rope?
Well, I
I don't
use
know, but
a lot of my time in
oh, sorry,
wild
go ahead.
shape, so I don't think for me.
I think Byleth would be good with this. She's good with that web. So how about a lasso?
Yeah, I mean, I can
Are you
try it.
are you good at like throwing things and having them land where they're supposed to go?
Wouldn't say I'm the best, but average. At least average, yeah. I can do that.
Okay, I'm giving it I'm giving it to Violet and see. You got this, girl.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
I mean, it's not mine. I just ask what it did.
At which point, Maliborn, because he's got no clothes on practically, he starts sneezing. Phew! And the thing jumps all over Maliborn.
I'm I'm sorry.
Oh, it's just like being trapped in that pocket dimension with Elvira again. Oh, do what you will. And he closes his eyes and it turns his face away.
No. How did you say it, Orla? Like, achoo?
Attack.
Well, one
You
of
can
you
just
says hachu, the other one says attack, so the rope untangles
No.
and then retangles again. This time squeezing Maliborn in other parts, like his butt sticking out, his face is all purpley,
attack.
and it unwinds again. The two bards are standing there just
All
kind of like
right.
salivating quietly.
Wait, isn't Mira like away?
The one bard is standing there just salivating quietly.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm picking it up, and yeah, I'm sorry, Maliborn. Wasn't intentional.
Oh, it's all right. I've been used for worse.
Oh, giving him a pet. I don't know. Sorry.
Kind of cringes at your touch, but then he allows you to, like, out of just, it looks like he's sort of suffering through it. He's just closed his eyes. You can almost picture that he's like thinking of a safe place somewhere far away.
Oh no.
He's seen some things. Well, if you're all done fooling around, I don't suppose you actually learned anything useful down there?
What do you mean useful?
Well,
Learn not to push the red button. That's kind of
well, of
useful.
course, everybody knows that. Don't tell me you actually pushed the red button.
Well,
The
we
one that
did.
says don't push.
Well, we don't read Gnomish. And
I
someone.
thought you had a translator.
Well, she didn't have the spell up.
Well, that wasn't very clever, was it?
We had a lot on our mind. Okay.
Oh, I suppose. Well, anyway, so what did you learn while you were there? Did you learn about what is causing this terrible infestation of oozes, jellies, slimes, and molds?
No.
That wasn't our task.
No, I know. You were supposed to help rid us of the undead in the Underdark, but I was hoping that you would at least also be able to explain why we're suddenly being overrun by these horrible things.
Well, that's why we
After
have to go
all,
to the freaking library.
oh, right. No need to shout. By the way, I did manage to find our historian. She's got her nose in some books again, but I did ask her to join us. She should be by any time now. It's about tea time. Oh, there she is. And you see this disheveled looking, almost ancient gnome, Sverfneblin, slowly walk up. Hello, I'm Mossy Book Gnome. Hello, how are you? Hello. And she walks by everybody, sticking her hand out, try to shake hands, but she doesn't look at you when she shakes hands. She just keeps walking past everybody.
Hello.
And she sticks her hand up to Maliborn. Oh, you need to put clothes on. Yes, my queen. Oh, are these the adventures? So exciting. I hear you have some tales to tell. Wait, let me get my books out. And she pulls out a gigantic book and a couple of these weird little quills that seem to be shaved off of some sort of wood. And she dips them in a little pot and she starts scrawling. What's the date? Yeah, it was right. Queen Sunny in attendance.
Okay.
What are your names? And she gets all your names down. Right. So, who's first? You, the hairy one.
Yeah?
What did you see?
Some ghosts and there's these buttons and this panel and this face came out of the wall. I hit a few things and then we cleaned up this place and it looks nice now. And there was some oil and I'm really hungry. That's about it, though.
Initially, her quill was scratching furiously, and halfway through, she stopped scratching, and then 2/3 of the way through, she looks up and she just puts her quill down and she goes, "Are you all right, dear? Did you get hit in the head?"
Gee, man, like, I can't concentrate. There's some ghosts, I hit some stuff, things are dead.
That's
I'm
the
okay.
best recap ever. That's exactly what happened.
Compact.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we threw some bodies off the cliff.
Uh-huh. And there were like machines.
Yeah, these machines.
Hmm.
She looks exasperated, and then she looks at the queen, and she sort of shrugs her shoulders. "What would you like me to do with this, my queen? I don't think I can actually enter this into the annals of Blingdenstone. They seem a bit discombobulated."
Well,
We did.
do you know what? You can sit
Sorry.
down with one of the bards and they can tell you the whole story with flourish and everything.
And music.
Yeah. And you can get
Mm.
every detail from the bard
And more.
and more.
She's the one pushing all the buttons anyway, so she
Yeah.
probably has more to tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, also the most important part is that there's now a rededicated temple to Smooth Hands, and it's full of books, like in
Oh.
Gnomish, which we can't read. But I mean, I'm sure they'll be of use to you because I mean, a lot of religious texts are also very historical, right? And they, oh yeah, and I think didn't one of you say that there was like historical records of like things that happened, and also there's a museum down there, like a mining museum.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh. Yeah, very interesting indeed. Well, we shall have to have a look. Mm. What's that on your back? And she points at the bizarre-looking weapon that Delin is carrying.
That's not from here. So don't worry.
Oh, I think I may have seen a picture of something like that.
Oh. Where?
And the queen interjects, "Mossy here, aside from being our historian, is also one of the great sages, and she has spent quite a lot of time in apprenticeship to the Temple of Gond.
Oh.
She's a bit of um, shall we say, an expert on bizarre mechanical contraptions. You might want to tap her for some ideas if you're curious about your device."
Yes. Are you able to, when you see some new things, are you able to tell if it's magical or not, or what kind of magical property it has?
"Oh, well, I'm not an artificer or a wizard, but some things I can do. But I also do have quite an extensive library. Not as good as some of the other ones in some of the other cities. They're just my personal records, but I'm sure I can find something. I think I recognize this from one of the other books I recently rediscovered.
Mm-hmm.
Yes." And she whispers to a passing gnomish boy, "You, my workshop and bring these books." She scrolls them down, and the boy runs off.
Okay. I was just going to tell him to get a person that could do identify.
"Well, we have wizards, but they're all busy.
Yeah, they're on the other
Yes.
side of
Patience,
Tyne.
Pearl.
We have to go a long way to meet
There
them.
there have been well, there have been a lot of other problems lately. I'm sure the sergeant at arms told you that we had a recent spate of teleportation circles pop up
Yeah.
and close down, and we're processing all the people who've been trapped apparently for over 100 years.
Yeah.
So do forgive us. It'll take some time, But in the meantime, you're welcome to enjoy some hospitality. I'm sure Bozo over there will help you out with any food or drink you need. And if you need any supplies. Now, there is the matter of why you came to us, which was, of course, to get you to that library. What did you call it again? It's
Graven
called
Hollow.
Graven
Hollow. Yes, Graven Hollow. They know it. No, right. Graven Hollow. Well, I've had a discussion internally, and it seems as if Pierce has volunteered to lead the caravan that will take you to Graven Hollow. You shall be the guests of honor and the primary beneficiaries, but the caravan also has its own commercial purpose. It would be helpful if you could help protect it. Strictly speaking, the goods are important, but if you are under attack, just keep everybody alive if you can. And, well, I'm sure you understand how to prioritize.
Wait,
We,
so we did all of this for you, only to then have the reward be another job for you?
it's the fastest way to get there, dear. If you want Pierce's guidance, he'll have to go with you and the caravan. If you want him to go with you on your own, he can travel a bit faster, but it won't change the direction or the path you take. There's only one path we know of how to get to Graven Hollow currently, and as you may have already heard, it does change its location in space and time, so we don't really have multiple paths to take. You'll be on the same road regardless. It'll just be a matter of getting there a few days earlier.
Hmm.
Okay.
The
Uh,
caravan has supplies that will help make it easier to traverse some of the chasms that you'll come across. Unless any of you can fly. Can you fly?
Not yet. Soon. When the pass to the library, do you know if we are going to pass the mushroom forest where kind of his people live, and I point at Sponge, or a fish village where his people are, and I point at Poop Simple? Are those
Well, it
on the
will
way?
go near the Dark Lake, which is actually one of the main nexus points for transportation and logistics in this area of the Underdark. From there, you can potentially go to any of these locations. Aramikos, which I believe is near where his people live,
Yeah.
and also there is a village. I forget what it's called. Boopity boop, slurpy sloop.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, I don't quite something like that. Slurpy sloop, loop de loop, booby boop, boopaloop, loop loop. I don't know. I'm sure he can tell you. But anyway, Dark Lake is quite large. It has a
Pearls?
number of different races living around it, and I'm sure you can find your way to any of those locations if you so wish.
Yeah, I totally forgot we need to go to Ramikos as well to
Mhm.
talk to the mushroom people. Oh,
True. Do you think the Dark Lake has pearls? Maybe.
What are pearls?
Never mind.
It's like you know how these like um purple worms have pearls in them, but these pearls are not like from giant worms, but from like small things that live in water. Like they are like shiny and small and like silvery, but they're not silver, obviously.
Are they oysters? Or-
What's an
And they
oyster?
make like. But never mind. I'm not talking anymore.
You realize this is a completely different world. It's like you're surrounded by rock. There's no ocean near you. She's not an idiot. She's never seen an oyster. Well, yes,
minor
I
illusion.
suppose. Oh, that's quite pretty. Oh, yes. Oh, and Sorry, this is natural, is it? Or has this been worked?
Natural. Just
Really?
assuming that Byleth did a minor illusion. It was I that said
Mhm.
it, but
Yeah, good idea.
Well, I tell you what, if you do find a source of these, I'd be happy to add them to our trade manifest. I'm sure we could find some buyers of this. Uh, are they quite, and they're naturally occurring?
Mhm. In the sea.
The sea.
Yeah.
Are we?
Large body of
We don't want
waters
to.
on the surface.
Oh. Mossy, would you look up hills and sea and what did you call them, dear? Oysters?
Oysters?
Hoisters. Look up hoisters and see what they are and find out if we can get into the business of oyster farming. That might be quite useful. Perhaps diversify our revenue stream. Oh, yeah. That sounds like a great idea. I'll look into it right away. Not. Anyway, here are the books. Flip, finger lick, page turn, flip, flip. Right. So, yes. Oh, look at this. Yeah. Mm,
Can I have like a drink in the meantime?
Buzzer comes by with a tray full of beers, wine, and water, and also a sort of slightly fermented, sweetened juice that he claims has been squeezed from the ripest mushrooms they can find.
I'm gonna get that.
Yeah, me too.
It's super, super strong smelling, and it smells a little bit fermented and a little bit like old wood, but it tastes really sweet, almost like sweetened tea.
Cool.
Oh, right. And she takes a look at your device. May I?
Fine.
I mean, we have 2 of them.
Shh.
What?
No.
I'm whispering again.
Oh, my old ears. I've got tinnitus, sometimes I hear things. Ah, right. The Hadozi. Spelljammers. And she opens the book and closes the book briefly while keeping her place in the book with a finger. And she reads the cover. Yes, this is the right. Gith Zerai, Spelljammers, and Surfing the Astral Plane. Yes, I thought I recognized this. Yes. And let's see. Yes. 2 recorded incidences of creatures from the astral plane who apparently jump through time as well as space on a spelljammer. Spelljammer, by the way, is kind of a magical ship that sails through the astral plane. Fought some Githzerai and some Githyanki. Portal landed there. Came from the future planet of Yazur. The Hadozius, a race of intelligent simians that were raised to intelligence by a mad wizard who also helped construct these weapons futuristically designed on the principles of what they call physics and chemicals. Right, and they apparently are non-magical, they're purely mechanical, but are highly, highly technologically advanced. And they use a certain kind of what they call munition. Yes, there's even a picture of it, and it looks a bit like this. And you look in the book, and it looks like what you've got, except it looks much more antiquated. It's got more bells and whistles. It looks a little bit more fancy, but also a little bit less streamlined. Yeah. And it talks about all these other races that travel with them, kind of spacefaring elves, even a group of humans that use their minds to speak to others telepathically. Oh, that's very interesting, isn't it? And then she looks up at Delin. Oh,
Hmm.
who's
Hello.
doing here?
Hmm?
Yeah, you're a spelljammer.
Am I what?
Oh, I guess not. Did you come from the astral plane? Aren't you
No.
speaking to me through my mind?
Yes, I can, but I'm not from the astral plane. I'm.
But you are. Look at you. And she shows a picture, and there's literally a picture of Delin in there.
No, that can't be right. I think your book is mistaken. I've never been to the
Hmm.
astral plane.
She's so mysterious. Every day there's something new. Fun.
Mossy looks at the queen looks at Mossy. They both look at you, and then they step another foot back after that.
What's
The queen's
the
in the kitchen.
what's the astral plane?
Another
The
plane.
astral.
What's a plane?
Oh.
Oh. And she takes a whole piece of paper out and a giant quill and a huge pot of ink and starts scrawling all kinds of bizarre connotations and diagrams and geometric figures and lines. And she starts to point them out. And then she realizes none of it's going to be useful. And she says, "You, dear, where did you come from?"
Home?
Yeah, yes, very good. And what is home to you? Does it look like this? Did you come from someplace in the Underdark?
No, it's just a nice place. We are not too far from the sea. We have our like houses. We have some cattle. We have there's my family. Um we have crops. There's no magic.
There's no
And
magic.
no, but and we have like our God, he hasn't spoken to anyone in a long time, I believe. So, but we still believe in him, even though he doesn't give us
Well,
powers.
would say that you came from someplace very far away, whether or not it is another plane. And ultimately, this is just like being from some other place very far away, except that you cannot travel there physically. It's like being separated by an impassable barrier, but instead of being ocean or mountains or deep chasm or ravine, what you're dealing with is a separation of physics. Physics, as they say. And
What is
it is absolutely imperative that you understand that this device comes from a completely different place. It's very special. Apparently, this is how you load it with this ammunition. And she pops a button, which you hadn't realized you could do. And out comes a little metallic case. And she takes one of the other ones that you had up as well, and she inserts it, pulls the lever back. You hear a click, click, and a little light goes on. There, you're all locked and loaded.
Nice.
don't touch that.
No, I learned my lesson. Could I have a look at your book, please?
All right. And she hands it over. And as Delin is scrolling through the book, shall we all take a little 5-minute break?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Sure.
I want
Okay.
some tea.
Yes.
Coffee.
Coffee.
Go
Coke.
Coffee.
All right.
See you soon.
Hi. We hope you're enjoying this episode. And if so, please like and subscribe. And remember, the next time your DM says, roll initiative, yell back,
Here.
Here, hold my earrings.
Here, hold my earrings.
This is good. I think we only need this take.
So, as Delin was debating what she wanted to get out of reading this book of Mossy's, what did Delin want out of this book?
I wanted to look at the page where there was a picture that resembled me and kind of read to see if I could ascertain what kind of people these are, or where they come from, or what it's saying.
Sure. They are known as the Kalashtar. a race of primarily spacefaring altered humans who, through time and effort and interaction with the illithids, also known as mind flayers, have become telepathic. And it is literally the same image, just a slightly different hair color. How did that happen?
Yes, how did that happen? Is there a footnote or something about the picture?
Like what?
I don't know. Because I remember being a soldier and I remember being a wood elf, but I guess I don't remember anything from that time. So,
Very little is known about their psionic powers, which is how they're described. Very little is known in this particular book about psionics generally, except that it seems a number of creatures and beings in the astral plane have access to psionics, including the mind flayers and the Githyanki, and that includes the Githzara, which are an offshoot breed, as well as a number of other creatures, many of them almost elemental in nature and age, who travel the astral plane, either looking for information, power, sometimes food. Some of them even feed upon each other. Mind flayers famously being the kind who like to suck on the brains of intelligent species. The more intelligent, the better. Wizards are a tasty snack.
yeah.
Phew.
Yeah. Violet's looking nervously over her shoulder.
Okay. I'm gonna give the book back to Mossy. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
That's kind of weird, but okay. Huh. So what now? Should we just take a good and long rest, or should we start moving to the library, Ravenhollow?
I need a rest. I need a
Wait,
rest before we
and
start.
we also need to go to the artificers
Yes.
to pick some stuff up. But we can also do that after the rest, so
Also,
rest is good.
sorry,
Sorry.
Miss Mossy, you said that
Yes.
like these planes are separate, and you can't go through. But I mean, I did go through, I guess. So how do I get back?
You're, Rebecca, you're breaking up a little bit. It's been all session, but it's not terrible, just FYI.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know that you could hear it. I just have it sometimes for me when, but I still was able to follow. Um,
Hmm. Oh, I'm breaking up for you, you mean?
yeah, everyone kind of sometimes, but only like sometimes. But it's like it's only like for a second, and then it goes back, and so I can hear everything you're saying. It just
Oh, but
messed.
is anyone else experiencing that? Because I've only heard it for Rebecca.
Yeah, only heard it for you.
The only time
For
your mic
Rebecca.
cuts out, Al. Your mic cuts out, Al,
Yeah.
when you speak in whispers or louder, like your noise suppression
Okay.
kicks in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like something I need to adjust. I can fix that
Mhm.
pretty quickly.
So I also like I did reset the whole like Wi-Fi thing before, so it's probably like environment in the street kind of stuff which I can't control. Um,
Mm.
Yep.
I mean,
Well, if
I
it's
can.
it's raining
Yeah.
here, so it might have something to do with it. It's also
no, it
if it's
was also
raining
last
anywhere,
session for me
uh-huh.
at least. And I know they're doing glass fiber stuff, so like I guess in the neighborhood, so I have no idea.
Mhm. Let's see, sensitivity. I will lower the sensitivity so you'll get more background noise, potentially, but it should pick me up when I'm whispering. Noise suppression, none. How do I change this? Okay, well, that's all I seem to be able to do right now. So let me know if that's a little bit better. Or if it isn't, either way. Okay, cool. So yeah, you guys were saying you need to go to the artificers and somebody else.
Yeah, I was just asking her uh how to get back to a place, like through the plains.
Well, the queen will jump in. We do know of quite a number of types of magic, both divine as well as arcane, that can help transport people and objects through time and space. Space is much easier. Banishment is a spell that I know some of our wizards have used in respect of getting rid of a demon or two. There are also planar portal spells, not unlike the ones that you probably saw pop up when you found that fellow. And you can also find ways to travel between places on the same plane. Now, um, how you would get back to where you came from, that is not an expert area for me, but I'm sure you can find someone who can answer the question for you and possibly even help you. I don't know that we have anybody who can do that here. I imagine the library is probably your best bet. Unless you were to go to a very powerful wizard or cleric, possibly.
So wait, Orla, are you from other plane? I thought you were just
It
from the surface.
it sounds like it. I mean, I don't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's another plane. It's another place that's different. And I like accidentally went through something. Then I was in like this weird like place where I had to cook, and then I came like I guess to what you're calling the surface here, but there's still like where I'm from, there's no people that look like like Byleth or even Cracker. Like people would be terrified of them.
Oh,
Seriously?
that
all right.
that does seem a bit like racial profiling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, there's like these stories of like these creatures that like these also like spirits. Like we only tell stories about them, but I've never seen one before coming here. I couldn't do any magic before coming here.
That's weird.
Sounds pretty
Mm.
boring.
Yeah.
For you to tell.
No, it's there's people we have to fight. I mean, it's not like more peaceful. We have to fight like people fight all the time against people coming in. We fight for our lives. We fight to survive hunger. Um, it's all a bit. I think maybe even sometimes a bit more dangerous because we don't have these powers to protect ourselves.
So you don't have
Hmm.
anyone to make good berries? If you had
No,
someone
we
to make
have
good
to
berries, you wouldn't starve ever.
we have to find our berries ourselves in the forest. But they're very good. They're very good berries. But yeah, they're very good berries, but they're not good berries.
That's weird. Huh.
we should start an organic farm business. Fresh chickens and good berries
And goat milk.
Mm,
and goat
Business
milk.
opportunity.
And pearls.
Mm.
Um,
and pearl.
but also, is there a way to talk to someone on another plane?
Oh, well, I suppose there must be. If one can travel, then certainly one could share thoughts. I'm not an expert on it. I know that some of the priests have been known to commune with their gods or goddesses, but whether or not one can just um, summon or speak to someone of another plane, I have seen one or two clerics speak to somebody who has passed on from this life, which I guess technically means they're on another plane, or at least their souls are. You could ask them. Gernick, do you know anything about it? Oh, Brock! I think Gernick's a bit distracted. He's very excited to be getting back the gems. You can see he's very protective of them. Brock, 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 Brock.
I also know that our cleric that we used to hang with, she could send a message over long distances, but I don't know if it works across the planes. But she could send short messages. We always had to figure out what we wanted to say because she had to do a certain amount of words, but she could send long distance messages. But I don't know
Yeah,
if they could go across planes.
I can't do that, or maybe not yet. But
I
if
imagine
I
the
do, I
power
will try.
expenditure must be very high. You know, if you were to say, call out the name of your loved ones in a room, you don't have to put a lot of effort into it. But if you wanted to have them hear you over long distance, say across a large chasm, you'd have to shout at the top of your lungs.
Yeah.
So a long distance call is always going to be more expensive than a local one.
Yeah, our cleric was a powerful cleric.
Yeah, unless me, I'm like a novice cleric.
Yes, a lot of personal sharing. Very good. Yes, I'll write all this down. As she puts down her quill. So, what about you, young fellow? You're very young and lithe. And Maliborn just sort of shrinks away from her glare. So, I've had a think, and whilst you were all discussing your little business, I did speak to Pierce about it. He thinks there's a way for you to get what you want without sacrificing the safety of the caravan. And the simple explanation is that you would go as an advanced scouting party. It would allow you to get to the library at your own speed, which presumably will be faster than the caravan, and you'll help clear the way. We will have to add some additional security for the caravan itself, but knowing that the safety in front has been assured will certainly allow the caravan masters to travel with more confidence and give them at least an escape route should the worst happen. Would that be acceptable?
Sure. Sounds good.
Yeah, sure. If we agree on the payment.
There's no payment. We're giving you a guide to your destination. You just have to go at your own pace. The caravan will follow, but it doesn't need to travel with you, and you can keep up if you wish, or you can get ahead of them. It's really up to you. Either way, it's not a safe journey. I mean, we're traveling in the Underdark. I don't know how much you know about it, but the Underdark generally isn't a very safe place.
Most of the places we have been to haven't been very safe, so kind of used to
Well,
it.
you can thank them, and she points at Maliborn, for that. If it isn't the Drow directly, then it's very often their proxies.
Well, should we go and find these people we will need to find and take a rest and head out tomorrow?
We need to also pick up like I think some things that we commissioned.
Yeah.
And already paid for.
Right. Over
And
armor
something for
and
this
stuff.
rash.
Yeah. Let's do that.
So, about that weapon you've got, how many of those metal boxes have you got with their ammunition?
I don't think I will only have this one. I don't have it anymore. I don't.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yep.
We don't have a way of making this, I don't think, but you might find someone who can.
Where?
As I said, it's not magical, it's just physics and chemistry.
Right. So I need to find a tinkerer. Someone who can tinker a bit.
Oh, possibly. Or an alchemist?
Hmm.
I imagine if you go someplace that's got a good engineering service sector and a large population, they might be able to come up with some solutions. A
Well,
dwarven city, a proper gnomish city, maybe even the elves. I don't know. I'm not really sure how good they are with this kind of thing.
we'll find some place, I guess.
Well, good luck. It's very powerful.
Yeah, no, I kind of experienced that firsthand.
Try not to shoot yourself in the foot.
Oh, I will.
Or the head.
Or the head.
Or the head. No, mustn't allow that. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to write all this down. It's been very exciting. Young lady, I do hope you get a chance to visit your family again. Good luck with all of that. As I said, it will require some power if you want to travel the plains. There are plenty of portals. We may have had a portal here, actually, but I think it's all been closed down now that the Fairs engine is operating. And for security purposes, I don't think the Queen wants to let down that barrier just for the sake of experimenting with traveling to and from your homeworld. But if you go someplace that's got a large magical presence, especially one with a magical academy of sorts, in fact, I'm sure even the Drow probably have one. Not that you would want to go to Menzoberranzan.
No.
Well, anyway, if you did, you might be able to ask someone there. There are experts in this kind of thing. In fact, there was someone here, I believe, at the time of the original attacks. He was a bit of an expert on planar travel. What was his name again?
Scorch?
Torch?
Scorch.
Porch?
Gorge.
Lorch?
Well, we met him, but he's gone now. He went back
Oh.
to
Coming
Silvery Moon.
back to,
You met him?
'cause
Hmm.
Oh,
he needs to bring Mira back.
bastard still owes me a book. Now, if you see him, tell him Mossy wants her book back.
Sure.
I don't even remember which one it was. It was so long ago. But I'm sure he knows. Steel trap mind that has. Anyway, I'm off. Gernick? Brock, Brock. Come along. Brock. And the two trundle off together, Gernick holding the two little gems under his arms, walking quite funny. Well, it's always an interesting interaction with Mossy. She's quite a character.
Can see that.
Anything else?
No,
I think we should sit and talk. I think we should discuss which way we're going to do this. So we'll get back to you.
yeah.
That's fine. The caravan can wait a couple of days. It's really up to you. We won't travel until you're ready because Pierce was supposed to be the scout for the caravan anyway. So either you'll go with him or you'll go on your own. In either case, the caravan won't leave until Pierce has set out first, one way or the other.
Let's go and get the thing that we commissioned and see if we can find an artificer. What more did we need to do? Take a rest and see if my spells work on Wrecker. If not, we need to
A
go
couple-
to the temple.
Yeah. Got a couple javelins.
Yep.
I think they fixed my warhammer.
Right.
Oh, well, as for javelins and warhammers, anything you need will be provided gratis. in terms of mundane weapons. We can certainly provide you with that, and it's the least we could do as a thank you. The magical items, of course, are a little different story. We don't have that many of those, and we kind of need them at the moment. If you need anything further in terms of general supplies, you can assume that anything available to us is available to you within reason. You won't be able to carry off our entire store, but you wouldn't want all that bulk anyway, presumably, if you're trying to move fast and light. Are you sure you didn't find anything else in there? There wasn't an heirloom left behind? I only ask because, well, I had some relatives in the new model city.
Well, we didn't loot much, to be honest.
I know
Oh.
someone was looking at books, but I can't remember who it was. Who was flipping around with the books?
We did find a lot of books, but most of them are still there.
Most of them.
I got some scrolls.
All of them are still there.
It's fine. It's fine. If they haven't been used for 100 years, I'm sure they're not going to be missed. As long as you didn't take anything that was obviously just a history of the city or incredibly important, like who's who, what's what, best places to eat, all that kind of thing.
No.
Nobody gave you a locket?
No.
No. That's a
Can I-
shame.
Can I make like a? Can I look at the linen and just like raise like my fingers to my head in like a kind of like a motion like
Ah,
Professor X sending a telepathic message.
let's talk.
Spock doing the mind meld, your mind to my mind, your thoughts to my thoughts.
Mhm.
Who's Professor X? Who's Spock? So,
I really can't remember. Did we find a locket or something? No. Did we?
I don't know. I was too busy killing stuff.
Yeah, I
looted
found
so
these.
many
me
lockets
too.
now. It's
Yeah.
like nobody even remembers.
Well, I'm gonna show her the. I got a couple of the rings, the engineering
Yeah,
rings. These, but this was just to kind of. It's a token that said that you can go places. So I have a couple of these if you want one.
Oh, there it is. Oh. 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 Uncle Pewterburp. He was my favorite uncle.
Oh, okay. Well,
My mother's younger brother. Always so kind, always showing me around the ropes. Never did stop giving me a blasted tour of the place. I'd seen it probably a dozen times, and he'd still want to show me. He was very proud, you know, and rightfully so. They put a lot of effort into that place. Would you mind if I kept it?
yeah, there are a lot of those. There, so.
No, but this one's quite special, you see. And she turns the ring inside out,
Okay.
and there's a small inscription that you didn't see in there. It reads, one ring to... No, that's the wrong ring.
Hmm.
But it's very special to me.
Go for it.
I'm glad. Is he alive? No, he wouldn't be alive. Is he dead? Is he undead or dead?
I don't know. What did he look like?
Oh, he was about yay tall with blue skin, glasses, always talked a lot.
Oh, well,
Mm.
well, everyone in there was dead, but I don't think he's dead because we saw a ghost that was kind of in a loop. He was giving a guided tour of the place.
Oh, that must have been him. He loved giving guided tours. I
Yeah.
think he was giving one to the king at the time.
Well,
Schnickdick, before we came along.
okay. Well, we got him out of the loop when we started the engine, and he kind of just drifted off. So I guess he's still there.
Oh. So did he find peace in the end?
I guess, yeah, I think so. He wasn't scared anymore.
Oh, that's so sweet. I'm so glad. I was always afraid that he had met his end in some horrible fashion at the tip of a pointy dark elf sword. No offense to anyone.
No, I don't think he died of that,
Oh,
but
oh.
yeah.
Well, how did he die then? Presumably not old age.
No.
No, he fell off the cliff, but
Oh
so I think that's
no,
good
that's
because
horrible.
it's good. It's good because it
No, no,
means
no,
he
no.
died
I
a
don't want
very
to hear anymore. I
painless
don't.
death.
No, stop it, stop it, stop it. I don't want to hear anymore.
Well, you asked.
You're very sorry.
He wasn't in
Oh,
pain.
No,
He wasn't in pain. He
you
was.
mean until he died?
I don't think
He was
he
just in
felt
terrible
anything.
fear.
Well, everyone
Yeah, it
in there
was.
Oh,
was.
no, stop it. I can't take it anymore.
And he
It's-
probably saw a lot of face
No,
on his
blah,
way
blah, blah,
down.
blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah,
beautiful
blah,
face,
blah,
right?
Usually
blah, blah.
die
I
before
can't
you
hear
hit the
you. I can't
bottom.
hear you. I can't hear you. Blah, 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 blah.
Okay,
And she's covering her ears.
Okay, I think we should go. Bye.
Oh, Uncle Pewter Burp, I'm so sorry. Oh.
He
Well,
looked really
anyway,
peaceful in the end.
Yeah.
lying there with his bones all broken, horribly twisted,
No, he didn't look like
smushed
that at all.
like an overripe mushroom. Well, thank you anyway for letting his soul rest and bringing back this memento.
Well, if you go
Hmm.
to the bottom, you can probably maybe recover his remains and give him like a proper burial, right?
No one has ever been to the bottom. We don't even know what's down there. We think there may be a river.
Well, now there's a drow down there.
Mhm.
A dead drow.
Yeah,
Oh.
a dead one. Yeah.
Probably.
You're only
She's
making it
looking. She's
worse.
looking at all of you. You're saying there's a living drow down there,
No,
running around, causing havoc.
no, she's
A
probably
dead
dead.
one.
How would a drow even survive falling that far?
Well, you never
Exactly,
know.
that's what she said.
Yeah, she's probably dead. And she was attacked by a ghost before he fell, so.
What? When you say she, do you mean a female war leader?
Yeah.
Because that's what they all seem to be. So she would have been able to cast spells?
Yeah.
Spells. A magical wielding drow war leader running around at the bottom of a chasm inside the new model city
she's
where
dead.
the security apparatus has been disabled and no one knows where she is.
She's dead.
Someone
She's
who has
dead.
managed to survive over 100 years
Inside
on
the
her
protector.
own.
Well, inside the protector portal. She's
Yeah,
dead.
so
She
I
fell
can,
to the ground. No way.
Is there a body?
Probably at the
yeah, I
bottom.
can do magic and but if I fell off a cliff, I'd be dead if I fell that high. I have nothing to protect myself. So
And are you more powerful than she was, or was she more powerful than you?
I think in terms of like, I mean, what is power anyway? I think power I think I have more loyal friends, for example.
Pretty powerful.
And the
That
mental
is powerful.
power. Very strong.
Yeah.
Very strong.
She's just looking at all of you with complete disbelief. You do realize this sounds absolutely ridiculous. I don't think I could call this area safe anymore. Ugh.
It is. There's just one single dead drow at the bottom. That's it.
No body, no proof. Pierce? Yes, ma'am. Lead a scouting party down to the bottom and ascertain the whereabouts of this so-called dead drow female spellcasting war leader who has survived over 100 years on her own.
Her name's Ivara.
You know her name?
Yeah, because she has like a name tag when she was fighting us.
What is this, a
Hello,
wine
I'm
and cheese
Zara.
meet and greet?
I think we should go now.
Kind of.
I think we should. I also think we should go now.
Time for
What
a nap.
exactly is this man's purpose in your group? Is he a prisoner? Is he a friend? Are you in cahoots?
No.
No, he's a
Pierce,
prisoner.
keep a close eye on them. Ma'am, I really don't think they're. Am I your queen or am I not? Well, of course you're my queen, but I just don't think that. Pierce, we've had this chat before, not in front of the children. Yes, ma'am. Look, we all know you're on the right side, but I think for the purposes of just keeping the peace, it'd be better if y'all come quietly with me and bring your smelly fish friend and his weird little mushroom friend along. And the blue fella.
Yeah. But she did ask for details, and she can't be angry when we tell her details if she doesn't agree with them.
Well, you know how it is, the stresses and pressure of being at the top.
Yeah, sure. Let's just
Um,
get out of here.
She's got a lot on her. Well, I know
the
this
smithy.
nice little place that does a great job sauteing some mushrooms. Y'all like mushrooms? Well, maybe not you, sponge fella, but the rest of you probably do like mushrooms.
Sure.
And he
Yeah.
takes you on a little whirlwind tour of the city. You go and visit just about every single food stall in the entire place. And you come back, you're walking around, you literally have got 15 skewers of all kinds of things, everything from sauteed mushrooms to barbecued mushrooms to mushrooms in between mushrooms. There's a bit of roasted lizard in there somewhere, and both bacon.
Very nutritious.
It's very nutritious. It's very, very tasty, actually. There's a lot of it is not very heavily salted, and then there's some of it is really heavily salted. There's also some weird tangy metallic seasoning that they use on some of these things. It's kind of both sour as well as reminds you of iron, but it's got a very bizarre tactile sensation in your mouth, but you also feel refreshed at the same time. You think it might actually be iron. So, what else do you all need? Wasn't there something about weapons? I think somebody wanted some javelins.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's me.
And we need to pick up some
I have-
armor that we commissioned.
Yeah, I commissioned rings, actually.
I wanted some
Right.
quarrels.
Well, up in at the so you pull up at the various stalls.
You're breaking up, Al.
Apologies now for some reason. I said apologies. My Roll20 is acting up, and I'm not able to do anything with Roll20 for some reason. I've been trying for the last 5 minutes to get it. Yeah, you get to the jewelers. This is the same one who took your orders before. And what was it you were looking for again?
Sorry, I was I think I placed an order for platinum rings.
Yes, for
2
your
platinum
spell.
rings. Yeah.
I wanted quarrels.
Well, that's pretty easy. They've completed that
Yeah.
order very, very quickly. The platinum rings are very straightforward. The corals aren't that hard either. They basically took the design from the drow hand crossbow and they just upsized it. And in place of actual feathers from birds, since there aren't any flying birds down here, there are a bunch of bats. They've essentially taken some fur off of a rotha and they've stripped it in a clever way and inserted it to give it a little bit of stiffness into the back end of the shaft. So it actually acts pretty much like the feathers would on an arrow or a coral.
Cool. And they are 20?
How many did you order?
20?
Okay. Well,
So
they
they're
made
20. Right. What?
25 just in case. You
25?
have.
Mhm.
Yeah. Did you not? Am I cutting out again?
Yep.
A bit, yeah.
For a second only.
Sorry. They made 25 just in case in case they made a mistake somewhere. So you actually get 25.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
And the 2 platinum rings are perfect. They fit your design specs exactly.
Great. I'm just gonna put them on my own fingers, both as like kind of like a nice accessory for now. But I'll turn
Those.
to the others and say, hey, if you get into if you want to do like a duel with someone, like a 1-to-1 fighting, or you think you might get into some danger the next day, just you need to let me know the night before. Okay?
Okay.
You mean like every
Serious.
night?
Yeah.
No, it's not. No, it's not going to be useful if I have to fight too, right? But if, for example, if it like with the were-rats where they would challenge one of us to like this duel, so then it makes sense to use my trick, because what I can do with these rings is, if I know before, I can prepare like a spell that means that whenever you get hurt less, and I take the rest of the like damage or pain. But so it makes no sense to, for example, if Cracker and I did that in like when we all fight, because it just means I'm gonna die very soon. But if, for example, if someone's like, "Hey, I bet you 200 gold that I can kick your ass. Let's meet tomorrow at noon," then we can prepare for that, right? And they wouldn't know that they're like fighting someone who only takes like half of the pain.
That's very clever, and both clever and very generous.
Hmm.
Sounds good.
It's also useful in combat if you are all stuck together, because there's one person who's potentially a little bit weaker than everybody else.
Yeah, true. I can see if maybe I
Or
don't
even
know.
the bards, the less powerful bards, maybe.
Yeah. I was, yeah, I mean, I was gonna do the bards, but then the bards always run into like danger. Um but
So they deserve it.
do they deserve it? I mean, I'm looking at Byleth and I'm thinking maybe Byleth also might deserve it.
I'm posing. Hell yeah.
So yeah, let Byleth, we should talk and we can maybe figure out if I should protect you or if I should protect a bard.
Oh my god. I'm getting married. Maybe.
No, we're not getting married. I want to
That's a
make
joke.
it very clear that we're not getting married.
That's
All
hilarious.
right. If you think
I
so.
mean,
I'm a wink.
can't we just be friends?
Yeah, I'm friend zoning Byleth. Sorry, we're not getting married.
All right. So aside from the rings and the corals, was there anything else?
The armor.
Wasn't there leather armor?
Yes. Now you have a spiffy set of armor now.
Sorry?
Wasn't it also for
Yeah,
Moxie,
it was for
the armor?
Moxie and me. Because I didn't have a leather
Oh,
armor
right.
because it melted. And there was
Right.
for Moxie or Mira. I don't remember which.
It was for Moxie, I think it was.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe Amira. I don't know. So they aren't here. If they remember, then they've got the armor picked up.
Yeah, but
For Delin, yes.
yeah, I can pick it
Sorry.
up and put it in the bag of holding for safekeeping until there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. For Delin, you've got you were basically getting leather armor.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. So they've basically had to skin a whole Rotha, which was why it was so expensive because they don't normally make leather armor for themselves of that size. And as it turns out, they had to skin two because we thought the Rotha were bigger. Turns out they're human sized. So since you don't have the same dimensions of a medium-sized Rotha, they basically had to take two to make them fit.
Hmm.
The fella behind is prancing around in your leather armor when you walk in, and he's singing to himself, and he's yelling something at somebody down a hole. She puts the dog in the basket. Oh, hey, how's it going? Got your leather armor right here. Let me just get that off there. And he's slowly peeling it off, and you can see the sweat glistening on his skin. It's a bit hot. Here, just rub some of this powder in, and it'll be fine.
Well, to be honest, it's used now, so I want a discount.
Oh, fine. 15 gold off.
Fine.
And he hands it over. It's all nice and sticky. I was just breaking it in for you.
Well, I could do that myself. And
It
it's sweat.
smells like sweaty leather.
Nice. Best
Smells
kind
like
of smell.
Kiss after a concert.
Yeah. I have a lot of
Yes.
tea leaves in my inventory, so I'm going to take some of the tea leaves and I'm just going to rub it over the armor.
Now it smells like sweat and tea.
Yep.
And jasmine.
Mhm.
Sweaty
tea.
jasmine. Like a jasmine teapot brewed in a locker room. All right. Did anybody else have anything they wanted to do?
Rest.
Yes.
Oh, I also had some scrolls that I
Mhm.
couldn't use. So, I wanna give the scroll Daylight and the scroll Detect Evil and Good to either Orla or Dylan, and I don't know, they can fight for it. I don't know.
I can fight for it.
Wait, so you're saying daylight?
Yeah, Daylight and Detect Good and Evil. Or
Why
Evil
can't you use
and
Detect Good
you
and
know.
Evil?
I thought I couldn't.
Really? Oh, maybe. Somehow I thought that was like one of those general everybody can use spells.
I can use detect evil and good.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know. It must be my internet because everything's slow. And we're having a
It
lot of rain
says
here, so
it's
maybe.
only for clerics and paladins, fortunately.
Okay. All right.
Hmm.
They must have changed it because it used to
Yeah.
be, I think everybody used to be able to use it. Anyway, okay. Okay. Yeah, so you guys have got a couple of scrolls up for auction, bidding, whoever's the strongest in a fight.
I mean, I'll take the detect evil and good because the Lin can't use it.
Yeah.
And I don't really need daylight because I have my my special abilities. So
Yeah, I can take the scroll of daylight.
All right. Great. I'm happy.
Cool. Everybody
Everything's
has a,
solved out.
yeah. And Yvonne, your cracker gets a hold of how many javelins did she need?
I think I just asked for 2, just to replace the ones I had.
Okay. Well, they made 4 just in case.
Oh, that's nice.
They ask if these are sufficient. Now, these are not magical javelins, but they're
Right.
made with such care that they get a +1 to damage, not to hit.
Nice.
And they can be recovered under the same rules as general ammunition. So there's a chance that when you use it, it might break or get lost. But you might get them back if you throw them. They can also be used as improvised spears.
Thank you.
They're all very grateful, so they're all happy to give as much as they can to help you all out. And you guys can take a long rest if you want, all of you. Is there anything else before you take a long rest? Anything else at all? Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
I would like to cast my familiar again after the long rest. That's all right.
Sure. Yeah.
An owl again.
Well, you can
I
do
mean-
it before as well.
Yeah, or before. I don't.
Your familiar doesn't disappear when you take a
Yeah.
long rest. It's just whenever either you get rid of it or it is destroyed.
Yeah.
Anyone? Yeah. Orla?
Yeah, so I think I am going to swap out some spells after the long rest.
Sure. Any thoughts?
So I'm getting rid of bless because I'm guessing we're still blessed. Like, I mean, I am still blessed, right? Or did it go away?
You're blessed until you take this long rest.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's
okay,
not
in that
permanent.
case, I'm getting rid of Bane,
Okay.
and I want to take because I got my where was it? Warding Bond. I'm actually preparing that.
Warding bond. Okay. Right. Cool. Anyone else? Henrietta?
Okay.
Oh, sorry, Laura.
Violet, go ahead.
All right. I just wanted to swap absorb elements for magic missile.
Ooh, a
Haven't
little
used that
Satina action.
in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pew pew pew.
Channeling the pew pew. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yay.
Maddie, if you ever listen to this recording, this is for you.
Yeah.
Aw.
Exactly.
Okay. And Henrietta?
I would like to, before I prepare my spells, I would like to do a check, either medicine or something in that regards to see if my spells would help Cracker, either lesser restoration or dispel magic. Either of them would take away the curse or whatever she has.
Mm-hmm. You, through some experimentation, you do find the right combination of spells. Apparently, it takes more than one spell because this is not your typical lycanthropy. It's complicated by the fact that you've all been tinged with the black mold, which is what's making everything seem so difficult and persistent. So it's like an extremely aggressive, altered form of this illness. Lycanthropy generally would have been dealt with remove curse. But like some of the other things that you've experienced in the past, it's much harder now. So you managed to get rid of the lycanthropy, but it had to take 2 full spells, including remove disease as well as remove curse.
Okay, I have lesser restoration, and okay, so neither of my
Sorry,
spells
lesser
would,
restoration. Lesser restoration, I mean.
yeah, but I don't have remove curse, so I can do the lesser restoration, and we need to go to the temple to do the remove curse. So it
Okay.
should be cheaper. Hint, 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 hint.
It's like you're like treating yourself before walking into the ER. Like, hey, it should be
Yeah.
cheaper now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I glued myself back together.
So I will cast the lesser restoration on Cracker, and we will go to the temple to get the remove curse from some of the priests or clerics there.
Just do the open heart surgery, but
Yeah.
don't close me up. I'll stitch myself up
Yep.
afterwards.
Yeah.
and I don't need to pay for the anesthesia. I'll just drink a bit of brandy. I'll be fine.
Yep.
When you get to the temple, the high priest Gurnik is sitting there still on those 2 round gems. He seems to be in a trance, but one of the other priests, comes over, looks over Cracker and says, "Ah, yes, we've seen some of this. I'm sure we can work out a deal. Um, if you would give us some gems, that would be fine. We don't really need gold. We can make it ourselves. Mine it, I mean.
We just gave you 2 very beautiful gems.
And they were appreciated, and we gave you a reward for that. But technically, they weren't really your gems to give."
But we're friends now.
I have a frisbee. I have a toy soldier. I have some ball bearings.
Sand is kind of like small gems. So
How
What
about
do
a
you
hard
think?
cheese?
That'd be good. I like the cheese.
Everybody who's trying to offer them something other than an actual gem can roll persuasion with disadvantage or deception.
All right.
Intimidate? Here, have this toy soldier.
You just throw it at them.
Persuasion?
Oh
or
no, I'm not throwing it. I'm just
deception?
like, it's still in my hand.
I'm offering the cheese.
Hmm.
All right, the cheese.
That's an
Okay.
8.
That's an 8. Yeah. Okay. Oh, the toy
12?
soldier. That didn't go over very
Oh
well.
no, that's not good.
Well,
Violet
what
rolled
do
a
you think of
12.
the sand, huh?
I think we have some gems in the bag of holding, but I need to check, and my roll 20 kind of screwed up on me, so I'm just gonna.
I think it's roll 20 because my roll 20 is not working at all. I
Mine's
can see
fine.
your scores, but I can't see any maps or anything. And I've been having trouble all day. But I don't think it's just me. So, okay. So first of all, they're going to say thank you, no, to the cheese. To the toy soldier, they say thank you, no. We have plenty of these ourselves. And he shows you a whole bunch of the same exact toy soldiers that apparently came from the same toy factory. I wonder how that
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. We make
Uh,
these.
We do have 3 silver
What about the
lockets
sand?
with the emblem of Centrum on it, and we have 3 gold teeth, and we
Serious
have
business.
2 silver rings, and
And a partridge in a pear tree.
yeah, um, yeah. We have 1 small gem, but what it is, I don't know. Let's look at my inventory.
He'll take the gem from your hand, silver locket, and one of the gold teeth, and you'll try to smush one of the gold teeth into the silver locket. Go ahead and roll a d20 for him. See if he succeeds.
Me?
Yeah. He takes it, he pushes it. Because they're both malleable, he manages to kind of squeeze one into the other a little bit. And then he looks around and takes out a small hammer that he carries. It looks like it's almost like a ceremonial hammer, not like an actual hammer, but it's like, it's kind of gold plated and with silver inlay, and it's hanging on a very fine silver chain around his waist. And he takes it and just kind of like gently taps the tooth. Pap, 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 pap. And the tooth somehow gets wedged into the locket. Ah, jewelry. That'll do.
Oh,
And he takes all of those
Impressive.
and he says, "Yep, transaction complete. There you go. Oh, by the power of smooth hands, I hereby remove the curse. Out, out, out." And he tries to smack Cracker in the forehead, but of course he's too short, so he misses and he manages just to like get her elbow instead. And immediately the hair on her arm disappears. Her other arm still looks hairy though. Oops. I'm sure it'll clear up over time. And then he saunters off.
oh.
Can I
Oh no.
wait? I want to take 10 minutes to ritually cast detect poison and disease to see if he did a good enough job.
Okay.
Okay.
Walking
Oh,
cast.
thanks.
I also still need to roll my portent because.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, you are. Ooh, those are great rolls.
Cool.
Yeah. You get the sense that probably it will work. It's just going to take a little longer than normal.
Mhm.
It's like
Quicker.
because he got one limb as opposed to like a central part of the circulatory system. In terms of mana and spiritual chi, it's like she's got like a dark side and a light side, and they're kind of having an internal war. So every once in a while, Cracker just starts barking madly or starts, sniffing and chewing on things. What would be the first thing Cracker chews on in the party?
Well, I would have just grabbed the cheese immediately, and that's what I'm chewing on.
Okay.
Yeah,
do
that's
I,
mine. Dibs.
Can I? No, I try to like not give her the cheese. It's my cheese.
Yeah,
Oh my
no.
god.
I want to keep it.
I'm just gonna roll my eyes and just walk away.
Hang on.
Do I
Yeah.
lose the
well,
cheese?
you lose the cheese. I get an 18.
Wait. I can do a save. Wait. I'm. Or do I do a save throw like like a strength save or normal save strength check?
You in a
I don't know.
headlock.
Go ahead and roll a strength check.
I just did. I got an 18.
I know. I meant Rebecca.
You want another one?
Go ahead
Oh,
and roll one
right.
for Orla.
Oh my god!
Oh!
You resist.
Gimme! No, it's fine. No, it's fine. Get your own cheese. It is my cheese.
Roll high on strength. I got I rolled
That's
a 19
amazing.
for an 18.
And as the two of you are locked in a death struggle over a wheel of cheese in the temple of Caladuran Smooth Hands, with the high priest zoning out while he sits on two ruby gemstone type eggs, we close the scene, and you guys will resume next week, recovered, rested, and we'll resolve the matter of the untamed, unnamed, unowned cheese.
Excellent.
Sorry for all the technical trouble, but I had fun. I hope you guys did too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, what better way to end a session than over a fight for cheese?
In which the
Right.
cleric almost beats the barbarian.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And if
Getting
you guys were
tougher.
wearing the rings, it would have been even funnier. It's like, how do you win this fight? Well, all Cracker has to do is keep punching herself in the face, and Orla just keeps getting a bloodier nose.
Yeah.
It's like when kids beat up on each other and they hold each other in a headlock, but one of them grabs the fist of the other kid and punches the other kid with his own fist. It's like, why do you keep hitting yourself? Stop hitting yourself. Exactly.
Too hilarious.
All right, folks. Lovely to speak to all of you again. Have a lovely weekend and week, and I'll see you guys in approximately 7 days. And for Henrietta, I hope you have a very nice time at your reunion.
I hope so. I'm looking forward to it.
Take pictures.
I will.
Yeah, take pictures.
Yeah.
If I remember, I will.
You will remember.
Even if it's not true, she established that that story early on, so that was good.
Yeah.
Her alibi. Okay.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Bye.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.